The Doors, People Are Strange. One of my favorite Doors songs here, and also covered really well by Echo and the Bunnymen on the Lost Boys soundtrack. Starts off with this really cool arpeggiated riff. So we're going to be here where we're going to do a couple pickup notes where we do second on the A to open to 3 on the E. Okay, some pickup notes into our chords here, and we're going to arpeggiate, like I said, with an E minor. Okay, so we'll do an open E, second A, second D, open G. Come back to the second D. Okay, and then we do 2, 1 on the A. Okay, so that measure. And now we go to an A chord. All right, so we do open A, second on the D, second on the G, to an open G. Okay, come back to the second D. And then we do that 2 to 1 on the A again. Okay, so that measure. Okay, go back to the A. Okay, so open A, second D, second G. Okay, and then here we kind of split the measure, or we'll come back to an E minor by just hitting a second on the A and the D. Okay, and then quickly a G, open G after that. And then we do a hammer on from open A, 1 to 2. Okay, so that's probably the trickier measure of these here, but it's something like. We just finish by coming up here and doing a cool voicing for a B. We'll do second on the E, second A, and 1 on the D. And just pick through that. And then hit an open E. And then we would just go through that one more time. Okay, so put it all together slowly for you here. Just work your way through it, get it up to tempo. Alright, a lot of fun to play. Alright, we get into the verses here, and it's kind of just these really small, tiny, high-voiced voicings here. And almost kind of like a reggae style or something, I don't know. But we're going to do a B. Okay, so we're just going to do it by doing 7s on the B and E here. And they're just kind of short staccato strums, just 2 per measure. So 1 on the first, 1 on the third beat. So it'd just be like. Alright. And next measure, just bring it down to 3s. Okay, on the B and E for the G. Same type of deal, same strum. Alright. And then here on the first verse, we're going to come all the way back up and do like this quick staccato bend on the 10 of the B, where it's just like, alright, just kind of a funny little bend. Alright, and technically if you wanted to like just do a chord there, you could just do a B chord there. You know, just come back to the 7s or something. But you put that together, so it'd just be like. Alright, and we do that twice, that whole thing. And once we get through the second time, we just keep doing the 7s, the B. Okay, we do that about 4 measures worth. Alright, that'll get us into our chorus progression. Alright, and just a heads up, this chorus progression here, this is also good for when the piano solo comes in. It's just the chorus progression going, so you can use this here too. Alright, so kind of sticks with the same style as the verse, where we're just doing the small chords up here. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could just do like if you're doing a solo acoustic of this or something, you could just do full voiced chords, but just sticking to the recording here. It's going to come up to E minor, but it's going to do this high voiced 12s now on the B and E. Strum them the same way we were doing in the verse. Alright, and now next measure, which we'll repeat twice, we're going to come down and do 5s, okay, on the B and E for an A, but we're just going to hit it once, then come back up to the 12s, hit that once, alright, and then repeat that measure again, so back to the 5s, back to 12, alright, and then we finish off by doing 7s on the B, and then open B and E for an E minor. Alright, so put that all together. Alright, and we repeat that chorus progression twice. Alright, getting into the solo now, which is, basically like a E minor pentatonic, so you can just jam that out if you know that scale, but if you want to get closer to what the recording's doing, we could go this way. Alright, where it's going to start with a bend on a pre-bent 5 on the high E here, and we're just going to hit it and release it slowly. Okay, and then we do a pull-off from the 5-3 open on the E, pull off 3 open on the B, bend the 2nd on the G. Okay, so it'd be like... Alright, and then we go slide up to 12 on the B, then bend 15 on the B. Okay, okay, hit 14 G, bend 15 on the E. Okay, and then next kind of a descending scale here on the 12 of the E. Then we do 15, 12 B, bend and release 14 G, go to 12 G. So that'd be... Alright, 14 on the D, go 12, 14 on the G. Okay. Alright, now we come back down. We're going to do a couple opens on the E, and then we go open, 3 open on the E. Okay. Alright, now we come up to 5 on the B, bend that 3 times. Alright, then we go open B, then we do this hammer-on pull-off thing, where we go 3 on the B, 5, 3 open. So it'd be like... Okay. It happens a lot faster, of course, so it'll be like... Alright, so just put that measure there. Alright, so just put this whole first section of the solo together. Alright, and last section of the solo here. We'll be at 2nd on the G, bend it, bend and release, and then pull off to open. Okay, hit 2nd D, do a hammer on from open to 2nd on the G. And so. Right. And then finish it off by coming up with this 4G, 3B, slide that up. Okay, hit it again, slide it to 2nd on the G to open. Alright, and then we do 2, open, 2 on the D. Okay, so put that all together. Alright, and once we get into the last verse, it's all pretty much exactly the same, but the one thing that changes, and for me it makes a ton of difference and it sounds like way cool, instead of when we get to that bend on the 10, instead of just doing a funny little that thing, instead we're going to do the much cooler, like pre-bent 10, hit it, and then just let it slowly release. Okay, so it'd be something like... Alright, and at the very end, we get this. It's essentially the verse progression, but we're gonna, instead of just straight up Bs, we're gonna do B7s, two different voicings of them. So the initial voicing we're gonna do down here, where we're at second on the A, 1D, second on the G, with an open B and a second on the E. Okay, and we're just gonna arpeggiate through that. Just go A, D, G. Okay, and then we do high E, B to G. Okay, just kind of picking through the top and then up through the bottom. All right, and then we go to a G, and we can do it like bar chord style here, but just worry about like the bottom half of it here. All right, so essentially just the G, B, and E. Okay, so we're going to do the 3 on the E, and then pick through the G, B, E, and then back up B to G. So it'd be like. Okay. All right, and you can be pretty loose with this. It doesn't have to be like super exact. All right, so we go from that G, and then we do a B7 again, but we're going to come up and do this different voicing of it, where we're doing that bar chord here on the 7. Okay, so just bar it, and then we do, we're not even going to play all these notes, but I always just make the shape anyway, just because it's easier for me. All right, so bar the 7, we do 9 on the A, 7 on the D, 8 on the G, 10 with the pinky here on the B, and then 7 on the high E. And we're just going to pick from the D, G, B to E. Okay. So we get that real cool high-voiced B7. All right, and we just repeat that progression 3 times. So. Okay, so we go through that twice, and then it just kind of rests for the vocal break, and then we can just finish by doing kind of a slow, pick through downward from that B7. And you make it sound funky too if you want, bend some things. All right, and you're all set. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.